everyone.
Praise the Lord.
I thank God for giving me this opportunity to speak in front of all of you today. Today, I would like to share with all of you 2 examples from the Bible of how God had transformed people. There would be situations in our life which we would like to change. There might be even ourselves, we would like God to change us, we would like God to transform us. So these examples would be a good thing for you to consider and know that God will transform you and is mighty enough and powerful enough to transform your life. The 2 examples I've chosen are Zacchaeus and Saul from the Bible. So I would like to start with Zacchaeus. We all know Zacchaeus, the tax collector. We know he was really greedy and he tortured the people. He didn't mind how their life went when he asked them for more money. But when he knew that Jesus had come to his place, he wanted to see him. And his strong desire made him climb a tree because he was short and the crowd was too much for him to look at Jesus. When he climbed the tree, he got a sight of God. And Jesus called to him and told him that he would like to be with him during that night. And Zacchaeus actually welcomed him joyfully. And that evening, people were gossiping, telling, "Why is Jesus with a sinner? He's with a sinner." But what happened there was, Zacchaeus told that he is going to pay back everyone he has cheated 4 times the amount he had taken. And he also said that he was going to give half of his properties to the poor. How great is this transformation? We can say it is normal. If a person is with God, definitely he's going to have an impact because God's presence is next to him. God's presence is definitely going to speak to him. We could say it is ordinary if he said that I'm going to give back the money I took from the people. But here the situation is totally different. He says that he is going to pay them back 4 times the amount he had cheated. He also says that he is going to give half of his property to the poor. Isn't this something great? So we must know how hard we are. God is ready and is mighty enough to transform our mind. Secondly, I would like to move on to Saul. We all know Saul was a persecutor of Christ. He was ready to do anything wholeheartedly to stop the word of Christ, the good news of Christ, from spreading to people. What happens next? When he is on the way to Damascus, we see that he encounters the presence of God. And after he does that, his life is totally changed. He is not the person he was. We cannot say, after we see him in the future, we cannot say that he was how he was in the past, even a little bit. He was totally transformed. A person who was ready to kill the people, who was ready to cause any harm he was able to the people who shared the word of Christ, is now ready to even die for Christ. We see this when we read Acts chapter 21, verse 30. Thank you. So we see Saul was a person who wholeheartedly approved the death of Stephen. He allowed people to stone him to death because he shared the word of Christ to everyone. But here we see how God has transformed him. He said that he was ready to die for Christ. How great is this transformation? If God can transform the life of Saul, he brought light into his journey of darkness. He transformed him completely. It is never too hard for God to change any heart that is too stone. He can transform any heart that is too hard. It is very easy for him, and it is easy for him to bring greatest lights into the life of people who have faced the greatest of darknesses. Thank you.